We couldn't find the meeting ID.
11:31 Sergeant at arms.
Thank you for reminding.
Okay. I'm noting it as a feedback.
प्रतीक कोई सेक्शन पे है रिसेप्शन पे है नहीं वहाँ पे
No. रिसेप्शन पे भी नहीं है, हाउसकीपिंग वाला भी नहीं निकला।
रूम क्लोज कर लो भैया
Ayushi, he is Ayushi. He will be Toastmaster of the day.
For the few, are you taking that?
Yeah.
Wait for 1 more minute. If she comes, then we'll start the discussion. Ashish is trying to join, but I think he's facing some problems.
इंट्रोडक्शन शेयर कर दो
Sorry.
इंट्रोडक्शन शेयर कर दो
आपने ही send किया right? You sent it to my introduction. Oh, alright.
I think we should start.
So let's start with a huge round of applause. Good morning, everyone. I am your today's Sergeant at Arms. I welcome you all to the 435 meeting of Eloquent Toastmaster Club. And the mission of the club is to provide a learning and supportive experience where members are empowered for developing their communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. As a sir, I request you for these 3 rules. That is, first, put your phones on silent mode or switch off. Let me check mine. As a Toastmaster, we don't talk about sex, religion, and politics in a derogatory manner. And please don't cross talk. For our online audience, I can see only one Pallavi.
Yes, she's from my conference.
Okay. Pallavi, if you
Hello.
can. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Eloquent is a consecutively PDC club, and we salute the blood and sweat of the members who work tirelessly in making this happen. With this, I call upon our VP Education, Toastmaster Pradeep, for the introduction and taking this meeting with further.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharad. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Sometimes it is hard to get up on a Saturday morning and joining on a week off. So I guess we only have Pallavi as a guest today. So Ashish, is he facing some problems? Sharad?
Yeah, I'm checking with.
All right. So Pallavi, would you like to introduce yourself and how you came to know about this club?
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Pallavi Singh, and I know about this club because of Toastmaster Anurag, and he introduced me to this club. I was trying to find a club which worked in a hybrid manner, which has online and offline meetings both. So he suggested me to join this meeting. I was supposed to come, but I couldn't join offline. That's why I'm here on Zoom, and I'm looking forward to the meeting. I'm excited.
Thank you so much, Pallavi. Just share audio settings. Pallavi, can you say something? She is not audible now.
One test online?
Yeah. Actually, we have two.
And we have two members who are online.
Yeah. One is trying to
Join.
join. All right. Let's see. This is why I'm not able to figure out.
Voice.
Is TV में नहीं आ रहा. In fact, output device is selected as this display, but still it's not.
Just leave or try again. Pratik,
Meeting.
if
Okay.
that works, rejoin now. Rejoin. Join. Pallavi, can you hear us?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay.
I think we can leave it as is.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine, we
Let's
can
start
leave it
as.
as is.
Yeah. So, yeah, with that, let me hand over the stage to our Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much, Ayushi, for taking the role at the very last minute. And it is a pleasure to have you at Eloquent after so many years. Toastmaster Ayushi, everyone.
Good morning, Toastmasters, here and online. Welcome to Eloquent Toastmasters. Thank you for this opportunity for letting me be the Toastmaster of the day at the very last moment. Now, the theme that I chose today is Zen stories. Do you know what Zen is?
Peace.
Peaceful, calm, peaceful.
So
Okay, it is
meditation.
associated with that.
Japanese.
It's
Taoism.
Chinese.
Taoism, is it?
So but just a formal definition. Zen, not Chinese. Zen is a school of a type of Buddhism that was originated in China during the Tang Dynasty, which was one of the oldest dynasties ruled in the world. So it is a very old concept, and the rules that applied then are very well valid right now. Now, who remembered their first day at school? Probably you were very little,
Very
so
young.
was I.
I remember.
So you might have just heard stories from your parents and your relatives or teachers. Do you remember the first day at college?
Yes.
Yes. First day at work?
Yes.
Yes. Great. So in all those three situations, if I talk about myself, I was really, first of all, curious to go there. I've heard from my parents that I was very curious to go to the school, but they were really anxious to send me because it was the first time I would be far away from home. But I was curious, but at the same time I was very anxious. I could feel my hands getting cold, my legs shivering. Has that happened to you ever?
Yes.
So it's a very common feeling, it happens. So my purpose of sharing Zen stories with you is that these are the emotions that we feel very often, but we are often hesitant to talk about it, right? You won't just go up and say that I'm feeling scared, so just give me 5 minutes and I'll come back. You won't say that. You would keep on feeling them, you would set them aside and then move on to whatever you want to do, right? So in this theme, we will mostly talk about how in the Tang Dynasty, in the ancient time, these Zen stories have formulated how we think today, even till this day. So, as we continue, let me tell you first how a typical Toastmasters meeting goes, and then we'll continue with the theme. So, in a Toastmasters meeting, the meeting is divided into 3 parts. We have prepared speeches. Today we have 2 speakers. One of our speakers is here. We have 2 prepared speeches that will be from pathways. Then we have table topics where you will be given 1 to 2 minutes to deliver a speech on an impromptu basis. And then we will have evaluations where the speeches will be evaluated and the entire meeting will be evaluated as well. So let me call our general evaluator to explain his role, which is Toastmaster Maya.
I'm having the same feeling. What should I do? All right. Very good morning, everyone.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
3 years ago, I was hunting for a school for my daughter. And during that time, I learned something very weird and something pretty strange, which I want to share with you, and very thoughtful as well. In one of the schools, I was meeting with one of the teachers, and she was briefing me about the school, and she told me that in our school, we do not have any examination for kids until grade 5. I was very surprised. We are born and raised with examinations only, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, are you serious? So you don't have any tests and assessments as well? She's saying no. Then I asked her that if you do not have any examination, how you are going to assess the performance of the child? She was like, firstly, you need to understand why we don't have examination. Then I can answer your question. We don't have exams so that we don't put any mental pressure on the little souls, because until grade 5 they are not that mature to handle the pressure of examination. I was like, okay. But we need to understand here, we do not have exams, but we have evaluation. I was like, aren't these two same things? How these are different, right? She was like, no, these are pretty different. Examination is very specific and focused on assessment of specific knowledge and skill set. And the aim of examination is to give marks or grades. That's what we all have seen, right?
Yes.
But evaluation is a broader concept. Evaluation is a comprehensive assessment of Evaluation is the comprehensive assessment of the effectiveness and the quality. And the aim of evaluation is to provide constructive feedback so the other person can understand and grow. And that's what we have in our school. I was very impressed with that. Why I'm sharing this story with you? Because I have something similar, my role is something similar today. I am the general evaluator. And as part of my role, I'll be evaluating different aspects of the meeting. And of course, I'll be sharing the constructive feedback towards end of the meeting. And I'm not alone in this evaluation journey. I have my very talented tag team with me. I can see the timer role is still open. Who we can assign the timer role?
I'll take it.
Can you take it, sir? So would you please come over here and describe your role? Thank you for taking that at last moment. All right, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster ma'am. So, as a timer role, my role would be to note down the timings of prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluation section. And for prepared speeches, we have a time limit of 5 to 7 minutes, where 30 seconds are grace, so we can extend it up to 7 minutes 30 seconds. At the end of 5 minutes, I will show the green card. At the end of 6 minutes, I'll show the yellow card, and at the end of 7 minutes, I'll show the red card. For the table topics, timing would be 1 to 2 minutes, 30 seconds again for the grace time. And after the 1 minute, we have the green card. After 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll show the yellow card, and after the 2 minutes, I'll show the red card. And for the value section, timing would be 1 to 2 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes. For 2 minutes, I'll show the green card, and for 2 minutes 30 seconds, I'll show the yellow card, and at the end of 3 minutes, I'll show the red card. So with this, I'll share my report once called upon by the general evaluator. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. There are two types of speakers. One who leave the stage pretty early, and second who never leave the stage. So therefore, the role of timer is extremely important to make sure that we stand here and speak for the assigned duration only. Second is very important role is grammarian role, and I would like to call upon my favorite grammarian, Toastmaster Vishal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Maya. Before I brief you about what grammarian role is all about,
I just want all of you to listen to this clip. Most of you would have heard it, but yeah, for those who have not, it will be fun.
You long hair and lanky fellow. Stand below sitting.
I hope everyone can hear it.
No notice. Full inside me. You mother father's menace. This. Sir, वो बात ऐसी है. Speak in English. This English coaching, not a local language. Actually, talk was that लड़की की dis. Sorry, stop. Sorry, sir. Sorry, का baby. You together thinking. English speaking like a rice quality? No. Never. Not. English speaking not a children play. English speaking like a undertaker play. Yes. Again time. Careful. Again time this behavior. So touch to my fingerprint. You check. So big check. You check. Rag check. Understand?
Alright, I think all of you would have got the gist of it. Why do you think I have showed this clip?
For the great grammar. Right?
Okay. Anything else?
So that we can learn that without grammar language there is a barrier in communication and will become a character of love.
So yeah, I mean, essentially, when we speak, all of us make some mistakes when it comes to grammar. But when you are completely off the track, this is what happens. People laugh at you, not you, but your language and your grammar. So I think that's why it's important to evaluate grammar, highlight what are the good things that we have spoken during our meeting, but at the same time give you a constructive feedback on how you can improve. So I'll be keeping a check on the grammar for today. As a grammarian, my role is to also introduce word of the day and the phrase of the day. So the word of the day is it's my favorite word, at least in the corporate setting. All of you would have used it, I mean, in your life. So the word of the day is cadence. And let me block some time for a regular cadence. Let's set a regular cadence. All of us would have used this. So the meaning of the word cadence is regular pattern. It can be anything. It is used, for example, in meetings. When we talk about music, cadence means that there is a rhythm. When it comes to let's say tone or the music. How you can use this in a sentence is: the runner kept a steady cadence, running at the same speed throughout the race. Also, the phrase of the day is beat the clock, which means to succeed in something before time. So one usage of this phrase is: he tried to beat the clock to reach the office early, but he failed and arrived late. So I'll also write down these words, like word of the day and phrase of the day, in the chat. I would encourage all of you to use it when you come on the stage, and in Toastmaster, whenever someone uses this word and phrase of the day, we give a thumbs up to that person. With that, I'll present my report when called upon by our general evaluator, Toastmaster Mayank. Mayank, back to you.
Thank you. Very beautiful and innovative way of explaining his role, isn't it? Very nice. And I never realized that I can use the word cadence outside of the corporate life as well. We'll try today. Okay. Let's move on to the last role. Last role is a counter role. So I would request Toastmaster Kramnika to please explain her role as well.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Karmika Verma, and today I am playing the role of a counter. Think about a situation at work where you are presenting a report to your team. If you say, like, so these filler words might you sound like you have less knowledge or you don't know so much about the things. And your audience also can distract. And these filler words or word or sound can include like like So these sounds and similar expression. So my role as an accounter is to help you to become aware of using these filler words which you might use while speaking. So as you speak today, I will listen carefully to note how often you use these words while speaking, and at the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times you use these filler words in your speeches. Thank you.
So myself and my team will be sharing the evaluation reports towards the end of this meeting. With this, I hand it back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ayushi.
Thank you, Toastmaster man. And thank you to all the role players for showing your creativity and explaining your role. And your resilience really inspires me that we have a vacant role and it was filled up instantly. So that is an inspiration to me too. Coming back to the theme, the Zen stories. The first story that I have for you is about persistence. So in the ancient era, there was a martial art master who used to teach martial arts to his students. So one of the students came up and said that I want to learn this martial arts and how can I just master it? How much time will it take? The master said it would take 10 years. I was like, 10 years? I would devote 12 hours a day if it needs, but tell me, I want to learn it quickly. How much time would it take now? 20 years. You know why? Because when you want to really learn something quickly, you are able to devote 12 hours, 14 hours a day. Fine. But do you think in the long run it's really possible to do that? Like every day 10 hours, 12 hours on one thing? No. But if you devote 1 hour for 10 years continuous, think of the progress that you would have made. Do you know the compounding effect? Okay, I see some people nodding. Compounding effect is that you start slow, but as the time goes by, you see exponential growth. So when you devote small times or take smaller steps in the longer run, it gives you exponential results. That was one of the stories that I had for you. Today, our speakers have also taken that step to practice and deliver a prepared speech. I would say that is a small step in their long journey of public speaking. So with that, let us move to the prepared speech section. Today we have two speakers. Our first speaker is Prateek, and I would like to call upon his evaluator, Shorter, to please evaluate his speech. Sorry, please give the speech objectives.
Sure. Hi everyone.
Hello.
Today I have the opportunity to be evaluating the project of understanding your leadership style for Prateek. For this, he has to deliver a 5 to 7 minute speech, and the purpose of the project is for the member to identify his primary leadership style and deliver a speech sharing some aspect of his primary leadership style, or you can discuss leadership styles in general. The basic things that I will be evaluating for your speech will be your clarity, your vocal variety, your eye contact, gestures, audience awareness, comfort level, as well as the interest that you're able to generate within the audience. So with that, I will be giving the final evaluation at the end of this meeting along with all the other evaluations, and I wish you all the best.
Prateek. Prateek is an analyst by role, and for the past 1 year he has been a Toastmaster, and in those 1 year he has also taken up the huge responsibility of being the VP Education of the club. So with that said, Prateek, a pinch of authority, Prateek.
How many BTechs in the house? Few, very few. When I was in my college days, during third year, I decided to take a job at a call center instead of going for the internship. So I joined that call center. After 1 week training, I was sent to the floor, and that was the moment when I got a taste of semi-corporate culture. On the very first day, in fact, in the very first hour, it was clear that you will be getting 30 minutes lunch break and 2 breaks for 15 minutes. Somehow, I don't know, but on the day 1 and day 2, I somehow I wasn't able to beat the clock, so I was late. On the third day, when I logged into my system, my team lead called me, and he told me that you are extending your breaks from past 2 days. So please keep a track of time, and if you don't, I will have to take some action. I said, okay. How? Not a question, but let me give you a quick fact. If you are a smoker, and if you smoke a Gold Flake Classic regular, it takes exactly 6 minutes to finish your cigarette. So the break time was 15 minutes. On the third day, I took my first break. I went downstairs quickly, finished my cigarette, and came back. I don't know which clock my team lead was using, but as soon as I went on the floor, he called me and he said, Pratik, it happened again. And if it happens during the lunchtime, I will issue you a level 1 warning letter. I said, okay. So I patiently waited for the lunchtime. As soon as he signaled me that yes, you can take your lunch break, I jumped downstairs, again took 6 minutes to smoke a cigarette, and then called up an auto and went to home. On the way, I got a call from my team lead that you have extended your lunch break, and I was like, beep, 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 beep. I mean, at that time I had no idea. According to me, he was an authoritative clown who wants to, just keep a leash around his team members and trying to just out of superiority complex, he is doing this. But later on, when I came to the corporate culture, I had my formal job. From the day one, I realized that everyone wants a democratic leader. Everyone loves a democratic leader who is open to suggestions, who is flexible, who gives respect to his team members, and all those that kind of stuff. And we, on day-to-day basis nowadays, whenever we are on social media, we might be seeing coming across these type of posts that a good leader, an ideal leader should be like this, it should be like that, and he should have this trait, he or she should have that trait. But rarely do we see anything about how an ideal team member should be. Because in reality, the journey of becoming a leader starts from day one, right? When you are a team leader, when you step into a team member role, it is the time you should start taking accountability and learning the leadership skills. So democratic leadership is something which in good times it is good to have everyone respected. I mean, we all understand it is not a hidden fact. If you feel respected, if you feel heard of at your workplace, you are more likely to stay in the system for longer times. But at the same time, if someone keeps on nudging you or pushing you or having burnout, probably you won't be there. But the harsh reality is businesses are not that a fairy tale that we expect it to be. So there are times when decisions are to be taken, and you cannot be friendly or open to suggestions, new ideas at times. For example, when COVID happened, almost all the managers were given a task at hand that go through the list of your team members, and we need names who we can let go of from the organization. So that's an extreme example, by the way, but there are many times when decisions are to be taken and there is no room for innovation and the work has to be done, right? So democratic leadership during the good times, it could be a good cadence throughout the good times, but when it comes to taking harsh decisions or being more bold into taking decisions, you need a pinch of authority. So authoritative leadership style is all about where decisions are taken at the top and the work are decided, roles and responsibilities are crystal clear, and everyone accordingly the things are split among the team. So when you go home today or log in Monday in your office, please give it a thought that tough times are inevitable. It is not in your hand, and no matter how good or how respectfully you behave with the team members and everyone as a human, there will be times, no matter how good you are, you will be judged and you will be criticized for your decisions. So always try to carry that democratic leadership style with you with a pinch of authority. Over to you.
Very wonderfully said. A pinch of authority with the democratic leadership style. Do we have 1 minute of silence for evaluation?
Yes.
Okay. Let's have 1 minute of silence, and you can send your evaluations to Prateek on paper or
On WhatsApp.
on WhatsApp group. That works. You can send it to me. Mr. Timer, you can please show the red card when 1 minute is up. Good? Okay. Now let us move on to our second speaker. That is Mandeep Kaur. And to tell the objective of her speech, I would like to call her evaluator, Ms. Master Anurag. Please tell.
Thank you. The target speaker today is giving her level 4 speech on the pathways innovative planning, and it's her second elective. The objective of her speech is: the purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to address audience challenges when he or she presents outside of the Toastmaster Club. And I will see how well she is able to diffuse all the challenges, because this is our comfort zone. But the real picture or the real story begins when we go outside. Best of luck for your speech.
Toastmaster Mandeep is a freelancer in social media, marketing, brand marketing, and an enthusiast who joined Toastmasters 2 years ago. In the past 2 years, she has held various leadership roles at her home club Blue Quest, and she currently is also the area director of area I2. Mr. Timer, please note the speech is for 10 to 12 minutes. Please show the green card at 10, yellow 11, and 12 red. With that, I would like to hand over the stage to Mandeep.
Title.
Sorry. Okay. Mandeep Kaur, the safe strategy. Mandeep Kaur.
If you are somebody who wanted to build good relationship, prevent conflict, and build your goodwill, then I am sure I'm something like me. How many of us ever provide or receive any feedback? We all do, and that too very often in both personal and professional life. Feedback is a sensitive yet rewarding concept. Sensitive because it involves emotion. We give feedback when we see something is not up to our expectation, when something meets our expectation, or when something goes beyond our expectation. Now, in this scenario where things are not up to our expectation, matter become sensitive. Because the provider still wants its expectation to be met, for which they use different tactics. These tactics,
when my expectations are not met.
and here I should it happens,
But it happens way too often. What should I do?
I will definitely get back to this point in a while. So in this scenario, when expectations are not met, the provider use different tactics because they still want their expectation to be met. These tactics involve risk. What could happen? It could affect your relationship, maybe conflict could arise, or it could rupture your goodwill. To ensure that it doesn't happen, there is an immense need to evaluate our own parameter of evaluation.
Why
of
should I be the
feedback.
one to always evaluate myself?
Ayushi, it happens. Such questions are very natural that comes to our mind sometimes, right? But I will show you towards the end, you will get answer to this question, and in case you don't, you just come to me and answer that. I hope that's clear.
Thank you.
Knowing the need, I propose the SAFE, Safe Feedback Strategy. Let me break it down. S stands for Specify Action. Always provide a detailed, actionable feedback so that the person can implement. Have you ever seen your wife or girlfriend asking how she is looking?
I don't have a wife or a girlfriend.
But you should be girlfriend or a wife to someone, so
I'm
it's
not.
a very... Okay, but still I would like you to listen last.
Why would I listen to a wife or a girlfriend?
Because let's see how other will react, and it will be a very exciting example today. So when your wife or your girlfriend asks how she's looking, they are answer to you just say, you're looking good. How terrible is that? Instead, if you say, your hairs, your dress makes you look good. But if you wear that smile, you will look the prettiest one.
I don't like people complimenting my smile. I want them to compliment my brain.
Yeah, and take this advice too. So, if you do that, believe me, you will get some better
Feel
rewards.
free to interrupt. I'm the only one interrupting.
Yeah, as I usually said, feel free to do so. Then comes our A. A says avoid public critique. They are feedback which are positive, they are feedback which are negative. When providing a positive feedback, it's okay that we provide it in an open environment to encourage the one who have done something good, to celebrate the achievements, but while delivering our negative or critical feedback, it's important that we provide it in a one-to-one setting so that the person can get benefits out of it. Do you have something important to say?
No, he will just ask him for a
Okay,
question.
thank you. So, it will be a very nice thing if you provide that feedback in a one-to-one setting to respect the recipient dignity.
You want
But what if-
all the people to give me feedback?
Not really, Ayushi.
There are so many people.
But what if that feedback is relevant for others and they can also learn something from it? If you have
Maybe-
same feedback for 5 people, instead of telling the feedback one to all of them, you can maybe just say it in a
Very
group setting.
relevant question. It happens, sometimes the feedback is very constructive, as in our
Toastmasters environment, we give feedback to one, but 5 others also learn something from it, right? So there are feedback that we have to measure. Is it a feedback that should be provided in a public environment, or is it something that I should go and provide it separately, maybe over a lunch or coffee? Sometimes it happens that you have something very critical to say that the person might not be able to handle, right? I hope that answers the question.
But there are things which we cannot wait to go for one. For example, if someone have a bad breath, obviously I cannot wait to meet him one on one.
That's our point. That's why we are here to learn. You could get some reward if you control that emotion for some time. You could reap the benefits that I have mentioned in the starting of the speech. Thank you. I hope that answers the question.
It does, but on day-to-day basis, it isn't possible, right? When
It is possible. Nothing is impossible. I'll get to that point.
And if the person resigns after listening to the feedback, then
there are very less chances that person will resign after a feedback. But of course, that's why we are here to learn the safe strategy that will keep you safe for sure.
they do. One of my people were like, they got very upset with me.
Okay, maybe you didn't use the safe strategy. So
I was
use the
very
safe, you will
polite
be safe
with
for
them.
sure.
I was very polite with them.
Okay, maybe that is not your mistake, it's that person. Coming back to the point. Now when we know what A says, it's still at time to shift to what F says. F says focus on individual. Many times we give references of other people to just to give context of your expectation, what you are really expecting. But it's better to concentrate on the individual, giving feedback on the basis of their performance, on their work. It would always be a better option to do so. Because sometimes, after all, who doesn't like personalized experiences these days? You might be thinking that why should I provide someone a personalized experience, again to reap the benefits of this safe strategy. Lastly, E says empathic tone. Empathy is not a weakness. It's a smart tool that allows us to think how the recipient could react. Now, when you already know how the recipient could react, don't you think you could actually manipulate the result that you could get out of that conversation?
You want me to manipulate people?
Maybe a wrong word, I'm really sorry, but it's actually a very positive thing. Sometimes we want a person to improve and we should think what language, how I could motivate that person so that they actually could do that thing. Sorry for that word. So, empathic tone is very important. Use a language that is motivating, that is encouraging, and help the recipient improve. That should always be one aim. SAFE is a 100% practical approach.
Can you give an example?
Let me prove this to you. I'm going to give you all a situation and I want all of you to evaluate your own motivation, energy for next few minutes. Cool? So,
I have a question, sorry.
yes please.
So the feedback that we talked about, safe, in India, this is a cultural thing that we are asked to maybe like provide a sandwich approach, that you start with something good and then you squeeze in your feedback and then you end it well. If you go to European cultures like Germany or Netherlands or even France, people don't want to hear the good thing about me. They are very open in terms of receiving the feedback. They want you to cut the bullshit and come to the point. So is safe strategy still relevant there in these cultures?
SAFE didn't mention that you start with something positive or end with something constructive. No. SAFE is an approach that will help you to evaluate your own feedback. The feedback that I am going to deliver, would it be relevant for the person who is receiving? This is a different approach. I hope that answers your question.
For
Thank
now,
you.
yes.
SAFE is a 100% practical approach, and as
She has a question.
yes, please.
For example, if you're delivering a feedback and it is about the behavior of an employee, how will you deliver a feedback which is actionable? Let's say the employee is very aggressive, how to deliver so that he or she can improve and provide action.
Thank you for the question, Pallavi. So that's why we have this 2 points of avoid public critique where we have to see, shall I go to the public environment or shall I go for a coffee or a lunch? If you are taking a person to a coffee or a lunch and then over a food you are trying to tell something valuable to a person, number one, that person will never run off. He's eating, he'll finish their food for
I
sure.
don't want to criticize someone who I'm out with lunch with.
No,
I
it's
would
not
like-
about, see, Pallavi question is if you really want someone to improve, but that person don't want you to improve. In that case, we are talking that
I still wouldn't take him to lunch.
okay, that's your choice. Then maybe you could invite that person to your office room and you could try. And here you just have to imply point where you have to evaluate, avoid public critique, and secondly, you have to maintain an empathic tone, right? Empathy will help you to.
If I want to criticize, why would I be empathetic? You do it just in raw manner.
Safe didn't say you have to criticize.
You
We
just
should
said
always.
criticize. If you have to criticize,
Oh,
take
I'm
them to
really
lunch.
sorry if I use that word, but we should actually not criticize. Criticize in the sense there are sometimes, as Sir mentioned, that we really want something hard for that person. That took a place of criticism, but we have to apply safe there to be safe in that situation. Anyways, let's move forward.
Manipulation.
Not at all, Ayushi. Let's move to the example now. So guys, you are Raj just for a few minutes. I'm managing you directly or indirectly. Tomorrow is deadline. You submitted your report to me. It was actually not good. So I could react in two ways. Firstly, Raj, what have you done? We need to submit this report by tomorrow and this is what you are showing up with. Just go to Ankita, take her help and finish it up. This was a public critique, by the way. Second option that I could use is applying safe. Raj, no matter you have put in so much of efforts, but we really need to improve it, specifically at data representation. But because we don't have much time, I would recommend you to take help of Ankita, but I really want you to improve on this.
I already, as Raj,
Just a second. Be honest to yourself and raise a hand if you think the second one was better.
It's situational, so I cannot raise my hand.
Okay, that's great.
Situational.
Most of you raised your hand that tell us how the majority would react, and this proves how safe could help you out. And from this, the results are clear that applying safe will keep you safe for sure, could help you reap all the benefits of the feedback, as in you could maintain good relationship, you could prevent conflicts, and you could build your goodwill over the time.
But I don't agree with you. In case of employee doesn't want to work, like person doesn't
We'll
want to improve.
definitely talk about this in 5 minutes. Thank you everyone.
I should
This
wait for
safe
5
will
minutes,
keep you
yeah.
safe for sure.
Great job. Great job.
Thank you, Mandeep, for such a wonderful framework, and thank you for handling us so gracefully. Okay, we have 1 minute of silence. You can share your feedback on the guest group, members group, and I can then share the feedback with you later on.
You need to apologize to her.
Not at all, Shri. You were helpful. You were helpful because the project is to address the hard audience. So thank you for being hard. All of you who have tried.
Mr. Taiwan, please show the red card when 1 minute is up.
So one line is you control the room very well. There were so many onslaught of
Maintain your
questions.
calm.
Yeah.
Completely.
Amazing. Amazing.
Now, all thanks to my mentor.
I got annoyed with questions.
Yes.
You did.
You got right from questions
And I actually want an answer for that last question.
Yeah, so actually the
I
time.
actually want an answer.
The red
I
card
have,
was
like,
always
I am, you both can connect after
Let's,
the meeting.
uh,
1 minute silence.
we
So
can
please-
take it offline. I mean, you could have said that we
Yeah,
are
definitely.
happy to take it offline. Did you cover
Mostly. Mostly.
Okay, 1 minute is up. I hope you have submitted your feedbacks on the group and we were able to share it with Mandeep. Thank you. Let us move on to the theme, which is Zen stories. I have one more story, the second story for today, which will tell you about how the perception works. Now, there was a master of the village who was the head of the village. Every year, people used to come and go from that village. So one traveler decided to come and visit the village and ask the master, and how is this village? How would you describe this village? The master asked, where are you coming from? Are you coming from far away or nearby? He said, I'm coming from far away. How was your earlier place like? He said, oh, it was horrible. The people there were so annoying. They used to be so disruptive whenever I used to speak, and I just hated going there. Okay? The master said, it's the same place here. People are annoying, they disrupt you, they're not really supportive. The man left. The next day, another man came in and he asked the same question to the master that I am coming from a faraway place and how is this place? How would you say this place is? The master again asked the man, how was your previous place where you're coming from? He said, oh, the previous place was wonderful. The people were amazing. I had so many friends there. And the environment was great. It was sunny most of the day and the nights were pleasant. I loved it there. The man said, it's the same here. Come in. And you just observe what happened. It's just the way you perceive things, that how they would be. If you think that something is possibly negative than it really is, it would be negative, no matter how hard anyone tries to convince you that it's not. But if we keep an open mind, there might be a possibility where your perception might be changed. Are you who all are vegetarians in this room? Okay. Even if I try to convince you that you should eat meat on a daily basis, you might not be convinced, right? Because you have a perception, and that's a good thing. Have your opinions. But if I say that come to a sports event with me, even if you're not a sportsman, what would you do?
I still come.
I'll still come just for a new experience, right? So that you could see how the other people also think. So what I want to bring out from this story is that be open to perspectives and do not have a pre-assumed thing in your mind that if you're coming from something, some place that you've always seen it do that way. It doesn't mean that in other places it would be the same, and you would just lose your chances. You would just lose so many opportunities. So have perspectives, have opinions, but keep your mind open. Don't just compare. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Now, I told you this story so that as the table topic session comes, we are often hesitant and we have a perspective that there is so many people here. I don't know how I will be able to stand on the stage and deliver on the topic, right? We have a preconceived notion that it is difficult. I may or may not be able to do. At least I had this. I still have it many times. So as we move on to table topic session, I would want you to be proactive and give yourself a chance. Pratik, may I take the table topics as well?
Sorry, and thank you.
It's okay, it's okay. So today's table topics that I have decided for you. Look, at the end of the day, we all want to be better than today, right? And today we are gathered here so that we can improve upon our speaking skills, communication skills, and at the end of the day, be better. Just be better as a human being, right? So I have a few quotes that I like to go through when I get negative, that I cannot do something like that. When I get negative, I have few motivating quotes that help me be on track and make myself accountable. So I have those quotes for you. Is there any volunteer, or do you want me to pick up people?
Put on the spot.
You can take, yeah. Let's do it today.
Okay, I would like to first ask Pallavi, would you like to take the first topic?
Sure, I can go first.
Okay, good. I like your spirit. Okay, just a second, let me open it up. Pallavi, the topic for you is the only approval you need is your own. The only approval you need is your own. Pallavi.
Good morning, Toastmasters. So my topic is the only approval you need is your own. I would like to explain in terms of the story. When I'm working in IT, Expedia to be specific, and I work as a program manager. So, like before 3 years, I was a quality analyst, and there were a lot of options thrown at me that I should become a developer, I should become a product manager, I should do this, I should do this certification, I should go for higher studies. There was multiple options, and whoever concerned used to give me one new option, and that used to confuse me even more. That what should I do? Like, I cannot be a quality analyst for the whole life. I need to progress. I need to think about my next steps, my future professionally. So I weighed all the options. I saw that how that resonates with my personality. Like, I'm a very outspoken person. I love people, and then I sat and decided the pros and cons of all the options, and I could sense that what could, match my personality. So I decided to become a program manager. So now, as a program manager, my day-to-day activity looks like a lot of people interaction. Of course, it sometimes gets very hectic in terms of meetings and everything, but at the same time, I have a lot of control over my personality. Like, for example, I get to talk to so many people in a day, and I get to learn so many things from them. So I would say that your destiny lies in your hand. Of course, you should listen to everyone, but every time you listen to somebody, make sure that you weigh the pros and cons of it, and then accept what suits you. Thank you. I know you.
Listening to you made me really realize that you are the only person who know yourself better. So make decisions that are the best for you. Sure, listen to others, but do what's the best for you. So thank you for that speech. Second topic. Anyone? Okay, Sharat, right?
Sure.
Sharat, sorry. Use a round of applause, please. The topic for you that I have is a secret to happiness is letting every situation be instead of what you think it should be. A secret to happiness is letting every situation be instead of what you think it should be.
First of all, let me just start by saying that the last time I came here, I gave a deep kind of a speech. So first of all, let me just give you a disclaimer. If you ever have an emotional or something situation, I am the last person you should ever come to. Because if somebody comes crying to me, I am the person who starts cracking a joke. So let me just start off by saying that. Now coming to this point, it's actually a personal story for me if I talk about it that way. I've always been an ambitious person. So I had this long 10-12 year plan in front of me when I was 20 years old. And as time unfolded, a lot of things that I wanted to happen did not happen the way I wanted them to. I wanted to get a job that I did not get. I thought I deserved a role that I was not able to get. So in time, I developed a little bit of anxiety, and I would get really bogged down with these things. And over time, I realized that as a person in this world, you are just a cosmic fluke, and there's a very small place that you occupy in this world. Most of the things are not in your control. You can look at it as a good thing, or you can look at it as a bad thing. I now choose to look at it as a good thing. Whatever happens around me, I look at it as something that is entertaining, that is maybe fun, and if I need to, I just find a way around it. So I just accept it as it is, instead of trying to grapple with it or do something big with it. So that's what I generally do, and that is my advice to a lot of my own friends who are equally ambitious as well. I always tell them to find the best way that you can, just do the best you can, accept the situation, and keep moving forward. It's not that serious. Thank you.
Very well said. Accept it and move forward. Like, it's sometimes difficult, we get too stuck and just have a tunnel vision and get too much focus, but there is a lot that goes around. Very well said. Okay, next topic. I'll take it next. When? Yes?
Simple.
The topic I have for you is the best way to cheer yourself up is to cheer somebody else up. The best way to cheer yourself up is to cheer somebody else up.
There are various ways we learn how to keep ourselves happy. And one such way I have learned in my life to keep myself happy is by giving. Many a times we are all busy in accumulating this material wealth, and there is nothing wrong in that. We all are doing hard work, putting in so much efforts in our respective offices, and we are accumulating this material wealth, and we are forgetting the power and importance of giving back to the society. And when I say giving back to the society, I mean that we need to make someone else happy as well. Because everybody, even everybody sitting in the room, is facing one or other different kind of problems which we are not aware of. If we can help someone to better understand their problems and to help them in dealing with their situations properly, they will certainly feel very happy, as well as it will make us happy as well. Thank you.
I totally agree with you. Okay. Yeah. The topic I have for you is character is power. Character is power.
Alright, so thank you Toastmaster Ayushi for that topic. Before talking about character, I would like to talk about power. Now power is a very subjective word. For someone it means that you should be able to influence people. For someone it means that you should be able to exert your authority. But in my opinion, power is when you are able to create a positive difference on others. You don't need to like show it to like in front of many people, but you need to demonstrate to people rather than like talking about it. Character, I think character is a very important thing in our life. Many a times we are very much concerned about what people think about us, how we are perceived in the world. But I think what matters in the long run is what is your character, how is you as a person, before anyone else in the world, how you see yourself. I mean, I always feel that when I go in front of mirror, I want to look at a person, like look at myself in the eye and be proud of who I am as a person. So I think that's why it's important to develop a good character. Yeah, that's it for me.
One, but you did very well.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Now this was a quote, "Character is Power" by Booker T. Washington. I found it somewhere and it just summarized what I just wanted to put into words. So I had it in my list. Okay. Anyone who want to unwrap? Topic for you is discipline equals freedom. Discipline equals freedom.
Over the period, I have realized a lot of people are looking for the financial freedom, but they realize this thing at a very late in their 40s. And at the same time, when we look at the people who are very young, are millionaire, billionaire, they have achieved the financial freedom. We say they are the lucky. They are the one who have got everything materialistic, and now they can do and they can go whatever they wish to be. But we don't understand the story behind the level of discipline, the level of characterization, the level of their vision enhancement that they have got the earlier in their life that have bring them this financial freedom is unparalleled. That's why it is said what we become is the average of 5 people you are surrounded with them. So it's very important for all of us to be surrounded by the wise and people from diverse areas in the initial years of life, so that you have the diverse vision. You can achieve that financial freedom that you are realizing in your 40s or somewhere like that. So that's why it is said. Sorry, can you?
Discipline equals freedom.
Discipline. So you have to lead a disciplined life. We have to go to certain lines if you don't want to go with the same phase throughout our life. So discipline makes a very important characterization of life, and we have to go with it all day.
I totally agree. If you have to be financially free, discipline is the key. Okay, nice topic. Would you like to come, Ishita? The topic I have for you is your legacy on this planet when you leave is how many hearts you have touched. Your legacy on this planet when you leave is how many hearts you have touched.
Hello dear Toastmasters, today my topic is your legacy leaves.
Your legacy is what you leave by how many hearts you have touched.
Your legacy is how many hearts you have touched. Okay, I'm not even framing it. Okay, fine. So this is very close to my heart. Reason being, I have been thinking from couple of months or maybe couple of years, and what is the purpose of my life on this planet? Okay, because it's a regular day. If I get up in the morning, I go for my walk or for my swim, then I work for entire like 9 hours, 10 hours. Then I just watch something on Netflix, or I cook food, or I have dinner and have a early night as usual. Okay, there's nothing extra I'm doing. So if I think, so tomorrow if I have to die, or tomorrow I'm dying, or maybe I'm dying in a couple of months, okay, what legacy I would leave? Okay, so I was just writing down the things I love to do, and then I realized one thing, I actually been doing it, and don't even try to put I have not been not paying much attention to that work, is like the power of giving. Okay, because I have realized one thing, that the household maid who works at my place, she's out of job since last 3 months. Earlier she was working at 10 places, now she has just 2. And when I go home, since it's work from home most of the time for me, I go home for 6-7 months. Okay, but still I make sure that her salary is paid, irrespective if she's doing my work or not. Then she went home again for 2 months. I paid her full salary. So if I think about the legacy, the only thing I can think right now, if I die tomorrow, then I will think that at least she'll always have a smile on her face, telling that Didi was there for me during my hard times. Thank you so much.
Message. You often overlook such trivial things, but you have no idea how impact it would create on the other person. That's a very nice thing. Thank you. Okay, who else would like to take the next topic? Maybe. The topic I have for you is the power of your intention. The power of your intention. Madhu.
Have you ever feel how powerful you are? Many times it happens we don't actually know our emotions or we judge ourselves, but we are the most powerful person on this earth. We can do whatever we want if we put in the right efforts. That's where intention comes into the role. Once we have the right intentions, we could go in that right place. Let me tell you a small thing about me. Once I started my graduation, I have built this intention that how will my life look after 5 years. I will be working in some place for someone else. They will get the benefit out. They will get benefit out of it. But what's there for me? I have built a wrong intention, to be honest, and I left my graduation. I told my parents I wanted to be a makeup artist. I will start my own salon. People will come in and we'll do a lot of things. I will not earn money. I will print money. My dad said it's not going to happen, but my mother supported me. Now my dad has no option just to support me. I started my journey learning makeup. I was trying to make something of my own, but in the journey I have felt what was the intention that I have started with. Was it not much about money, not going to help others, just to think about myself? What if I started a salon and more people like me join me? That we don't have any kind of interest in your work, but what we wanted to do is just for ourselves. So I realized that day I'm going forward with a very wrong intention. That was the day that made me realize you need to take a step back, go and do your graduation again. That what motivated me to complete my graduation, to start something that could help me make something whom I wanted to be. I have tried to dream of something else that is more than money. Money is not everything, but at a stage when we are around our teenage, money is everything to us. So, of course, intentions are everything. We should not start with wrong intention because it will never help us land at the right place. Thank you very much.
Very nice take, Mandeep. I remember when I was a teenager, money was everything. But then as I grew older, I realized money is not everything. The people who you are with good intentions, that is everything. Thank you for bringing that point, reminding me that point. Okay, I saw Ashish somewhere. Is he still here?
I think he joined 11.
Okay, I have 3 more, but I think we have limited time, so I can take 1 more if anyone wants. Shut up, okay. Okay, the topic for you is, what is the best advice that you have ever received? What is the best advice that you have ever received?
Thank you, Mr. Ayushi. The best advice I have ever received is, actually there are 2. So, the first one is the consistency. Like whatever we do, whatever we make plans when we are in school or when we are in college or when we are doing some professional courses. So it's very important to create a plan, and or we have made fancy plans in starting, like we do study for such a long period of time, or we play some games for this particular much of time, but later on we decide, we come to know that it's not followed with consistency. In 5 to 7 days or maybe a few weeks, it's vanished, it's went away. So the whole thing is, we need to, whatever we plan, our action, our goals, it must be achievable. It should not be something which is just for the sake of you have write it on a piece of paper. So it's very important, the consistency. As if you see any number to the power 365 is 1 to the power 365 is 1 only, and if we add little efforts every day, it's become 37 times. So this is a piece of advice given by my mentors, and in some books also you can see it. So consistency is very important. If you learn anything, any particular skills, or want to achieve maybe communication skills, so don't make such plans or such goals like which is are not permissible within you, because you know yourself best. Nobody can make a plan for you. You guys can have to help yourself only and make a plan which is acceptable or practical for you. So this is the one of the most practical advice I have ever seen. And the second thing is,
Thank you for making us realize the importance of consistency. We often overlook it, but it is one of the most important qualities that we need to inculcate in our lives. Okay. Now that concludes our table topic session. Thank you so much for volunteering and coming up onto the stage and giving your speeches. A huge round of applause for you. With that, let me transition back to my Toastmaster today role. As the Toastmaster, I promised you 3 stories. We have already listened to 2 stories. The first one where we talked about the persistence, yes, and second one, how we perceive things in our own mind and how they can be a resistance. Now, the third story is, let me give it a read, it will be better for us, is about a Japanese master who used to visit this university often. So in this university, there was also the head of university who used to pour tea in a cup. So the way he did was, he used to keep on pouring tea until it was full to the top, and he used to continue pouring tea, and it used to overflow. And the master was like, why are you still pouring? It's overflowing. It's just, what's the point? You're wasting tea. The response that he got was, just like this cup, you are full of your own opinions and speculations. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty this cup? Does that make sense? Because we often have preconceived notions, the one we talked about earlier, and they often block what the other person is trying to say. You might be hearing what they are saying, but does it actually get in the head, for the lack of a better word? Like, actually, do you process it, what they're saying? Empty your cup. I'm not saying just throw away all your opinions, what you have, but just empty your cup. Allow other people to share what they are sharing. And if that matters to you, keep it. Who knows how much importance it could give you in the upcoming time. Now, as we move on to evaluations, you will have feedback and you would be given different types of opinion, how the evaluators thought of your speeches, how you could have done something better, how point A could be point B and it would be better. So keep an open mind and try to register what they are saying. Try to understand what your evaluators are saying. So with that said, I would now like to invite our general evaluator to share the feedback.
Before I start the evaluation feedback, I would request Toastmaster Ashish to please share a book summary. So he'll be our book master of the day. So Ashish, over to you to share the book summary.
Thank you. Wish you very, very good afternoon to all of you. Happy to see you missing out in terms of attending in person, and those lovely faces are making me have a little more fear of missing out, but that's fine. I can live with that for the day. So today, the book which I'm sharing with you is called Hit Refresh. This book is written by, well, it's about autobiography of Satya Nadella. How many of you have read this book?
Heard about it.
Not many. So yes, so you will enjoy it more. You know, in this one, Satya shared about his journey, and his journey has been purely filled with ups and downs. And he shared that how passionate he was for cricket. So cricket was his life's first passion. And he was, when he was in college, his large amount of time used to go playing, and he used to love being on the field. He was so passionate about cricket that studies and everything else was actually much later for him. And guess what? His parents were a couple who were their father was an IAS officer and mom.
He shared the summary last week as well.
But he started
That's how I got to
differently
know about
actually.
this book.
He started differently.
Meanwhile, we want to continue in the
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Pratik is also not here actually. Ashish is back.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's back.
Ashish, you're back?
Business
Yes,
confidence.
yes. Ashish, can you just
Ashish, can you hear us?
you have to tell.
That is my apologies for that technique, which I hope you
Can
can
you-
hear and see me now.
Yeah.
Potatoes.
Okay, super. I tried and alright, so
Can you change this?
You won't be able to.
alright, I hope the network will allow me to share a nice story with all of you today. Is it? Yes.
Yeah,
much better.
now it's fine now.
Much better.
Now we can see Ashish as Ashish.
Now, me third time lucky. Okay, so his dad was an IAS officer and mom was a Sanskrit professor. And just picture yourself into a shoe of a boy who's the only child of a parent who was so very well educated and doing so well in life. Right? But, and you can as well imagine when the son says that I'm going to pursue my life as a cricketer, and here we're talking about 30, 40 years ago, when cricket was not as what it is right now, where there are so many opportunities of IPL, etc. So Satya was so passionate. He said, no, I want to be playing cricket. And he shared in the book a couple of very nice stories which I wanted to share with you. One, he said that once he was bowling, and his bowling used to be off spin bowling. All of you are familiar with cricket, it's slow right arm spin bowling where the ball comes towards the bat. He said once he started bowling and the batter took him for a ride. He underwent some 15 runs in 1 over and the batter really hammered him. Satya said, obviously I felt under pressure. And he said what happened is that at that point his captain came up to him and his captain took over the bowling. So he removed Satya and replaced Satya with himself. And Satya says that his captain wasn't such a great good bowler. He was a better batsman than a bowler. But despite not being such a great bowler, he brought himself on and let Satya take a break. And that break worked magic. Like in 1 or 2 overs, once the batter who was being very aggressive to Satya got out. And after that, the Satya was brought back again and Satya took some 7 wickets in that match. And he went on doing very, very well in that series. And Satya shared that this was a very deep example of leadership, taking personal responsibility. And at times when a team member is not doing so well, taking that onto your shoulder and managing it in a manner which kind of gives the confidence back to the youngster, to the team member, who in this case was Satya. And Satya was deeply touched by the leadership act of his captain at that moment. And what he says, he tries to do, and you all can relate to it. There are so many times when we are under pressure, we are not at our best, and things don't go our way. But if in that moment, our confidence goes further south and south, we might not come back at all. But in this case, in this example, Satya was able to make a comeback. Courtesy, his captain, who gave him a break and brought him back. And you know what? Satya says that I perhaps wanted my career to be built in cricket. I was not so interested in anything else. And he said I tried, but then my dad was very tough with he said his dad was very tough with him, and his dad pushed him that of course you have to take something else, because while he was good in cricket, his career wasn't really going, let's say, as perhaps a Sachin Tendulkar or anyone else. Now in this case, Satya shared another very deep lesson, which perhaps is something which we all can take away with us. He says that my second passion, if you have to tell me that cricket is not available, then my second passion was IT. And that is what he pursued. He picked up IT, ended up where he is right now, leading the largest value company around the world, and you can imagine being in charge of Microsoft and having done so well over the last 10 years at the helm of Microsoft. And the lesson which he imparts is that a lot of times what your passion is might not be the area where you are at. And therefore you have to go for your second best choice and find that guy where you are good at, where the world needs you, and find a sweet spot where you can make a career. And as they say, rest is the history. He still follows cricket highly passionately. He loves that. He said, he's written in his book that a cricket ball is always on my table, and I keep playing it or reading it and so on. So what we're passionate about never goes away, but that might not always be the career which you can go for and have success. And therefore, having that flexibility and finding that ikigai is so very important for us to have success and at the same time enjoy our hobbies. Those are, I think, two lovely stories which I took away from this book. Hope you found it relevant. Back to you, TM.
Thank you so much, Ashish, for sharing this. Alright, moving back to the evaluation phase. So in evaluation, there are 3 sections. Firstly, we will be evaluating the speeches. I will request the different speech evaluators to come over the stage and provide their feedback. Secondly, I'll be calling upon my TAP team to share their feedbacks on the specific areas they described initially. And thirdly, I will share my general feedback as well. So our first speaker of the day was Toastmaster Prateek and his evaluator was Toastmaster Shaurya. Could you please come over to the stage and provide your feedback?
Prateek, washroom breaks. Never in my life could I have imagined that somebody will start their speech about leadership styles talking about washroom breaks. Your speech today was a well-rounded package with a very pertinent message but wrapped up in very nice humory outsides. So first of all, let me talk about some of the things which I found were just great. You had humor in there. You were talking about washroom breaks, and you also let us know the importance of 6 minutes for a cigarette smoker. Then you had very clear rationales with your opinion on democratic leadership, which helps the audience also understand it better. And you gave a takeaway for the audience to go home and do something about it as well, which is another very important thing. You had great throw and enunciation. The clarity was perfect. You had great eye contact with everyone. You were moving around the room very well. You had great gestures as well. So I noticed that a lot of time you were like this. So your palms were showing to the audience, which generally disarms the audience and allows them to engage with you much better. But along with that, you engaged with the audience very well. You started with a question, which is a great opener in any case, always. And the audience was actually laughing along with the things that you were saying, which is another great sign. Now coming to a couple of recommendations that you might want to try if you want. You might want to try a little more vocal variety in your speech. So for example, you talked about getting into the auto and going home. So you can say, I got into the auto and went home. That is something that you might want to try. So that will bring a lot of variety to your speech as well. Then a second thing would be, so you talked about your message through one story. You might want to try one more story to show how the topic that you're talking about is pertinent in other situations as well. That would also help engage the audience and convince them as well. And finally, a small personal wish, which is the story lover in me would just love it if you have a recall to the story that you had in the beginning at the end of your speech as well. So that just brings the story full circle and the audience really likes that. So having said all that, overall, it was a very relevant and clear message on a tricky topic, honestly. A pinch of authority with your democratic style. And a serious topic packaged in a well-rounded package of humor and laughter. And I hope you keep delivering speeches in your very particular unique style that you have, which I haven't noticed in a lot of people. So I hope you keep working on that, keep working on your authentic style, and I look forward to seeing where you go next.
Thank you so much.
What an elaborated feedback. And I might have shared this previously as well, but I would like to share it again. When I started my Toastmaster journey back in January this year, very first day when I came here as a guest and I was sitting, I think, on this seat, he was the first speaker on that day. And I had no clue about Toastmasters. I had no idea about it. I just briefly read about it on Google. And he was asked to start his speech, and he started with a song. And he started singing Dil Pehla Tha Mera, something like that. I was like, what he's doing? Do we need to start the speech with a song? Is that the expectation? But then I learned he has innovative ideas almost always to gauge the attention of the audience in the very beginning. At least he caught my attention in the very beginning that time and today as well with your amazing story. So well done, Prateek. Next, our speaker was Toastmaster Mandeep. So for that, I would request Toastmaster Anurag to share your feedback.
Imagine for a moment, you are stepping into the stage among the unknown aliens. They doesn't share background with you and why they listen to you. My target speaker Mandeep today has navigated such strategies, how we can do this, how we can achieve this. And Mandeep, I love your speech. The specific that I will share with you. First, I will talk about the frequent interrupter. That role Ayushi has played. How beautifully and tactfully you have tackled it. Particularly when you say you are going to be wife or girlfriend to someone. Secondly, I noticed when this gentleman was talking to me, you realized that we are chatting, he's disturbing somewhere, but you acted very maturely and you asked, do you have something to say? Do you have something to contribute? Rather than you know what was happening there, but you happened that situation very tactfully. Thirdly, you was quite frank, you was honest. When you use the word, you can manipulate it. And when Ayushi interrupted you, do you want us to be manipulated? You apologized very honestly. I'm sorry for that. I feel most of the people say, they don't say sorry. They say when you are on the stage, you should be always on the command. Even if you are wrong, you should not look meek. But you was very candid in admitting, I'm sorry for it. That was the best part I realized. Another is your eye contact. Throughout the speech, you maintain the eye contact with the audience, where the audience is on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side. And there was throughout the speech, I also can observe a little bit smile on your face. I know there were a lot of questions thrown at you, but you always keep your nerves, you look calm, composed, and you was about to respond. I always think, and you responded all the questions very candidly, very honestly over here. Even though when you felt you don't have the answers abruptly, you say, I'll get back to you after 5 minutes. That was the beauty of the great speaker, how to handle difficult questions when you are among the unknown audiences. I also have few feedbacks for you, where I noticed there were few moments, your voice was gentle, but throughout the speech, there were few moments within the speech where you have raised it to a certain level. For example, just go to Alvita to get this done. When you use this phrase, your voice can be from here to here. Secondly, stage movement, you was coming upside, you was going back, but you has little bit luxury to going this side and this side as well. That looks more authority. While taking up the question, you can move here and you can come back. That looks little bit, you are more authoritative in your speech. And one small nuances that I observed when Palvi asked you one question, and I somewhat realized she was not even finished, or your answer was very abruptly. If you have given some sorts of few seconds of thoughts, it looks you are thoughting it, reminding it, and then responding. It doesn't look your answer should be ready-made. Just give few seconds of gap there, and you will look more authentic here. Overall, it was very good speech. It has everything, and I think a lot of us, for all the audience, to learn, because our eventual ultimate aim is how we'll navigate this journey, whatever we are learning over here, how we are focusing the audience outside when we are outside this Toastmaster journey. So a lot of learnings for us. So I think she deserve one round of applause from each one.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag, for sharing such specific feedback. And it was truly a pleasure listening to you, Toastmaster Mandeep. I think he has comprehensively covered his feedback. The only small feedback from my side is you manage the situation really well, but just work on your body language. You will keep on moving like this multiple times during your speech. It happens unknowingly when we are specifically addressing the difficult and unknown audience. It shows your nervousness, even though you were confident based on your voice, but you were unknowingly or unconsciously moving like this during your entire speech. That's what I noticed, which I feel, which he also highlighted, that you should use the stage like this. That's what he also highlighted as well. But overall, I think I lost my calm sitting there, that why you are interesting so much, and you were so calm and poised, I don't know how. So a job well done. Thank you so much for that. Next, now I'll start inviting my tag team to share their feedbacks. Firstly, I'll request my timer of the day, Toastmaster Sharat, to please share your report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ben. So, as you all can see in the screen, in the prepared speech section, Toastmaster Pratik took 7 minutes 5 seconds, Toastmaster Mandeep took 30 minutes, and in the next section, that is table topic speeches, Guest Pallavi took 1 minute 32 seconds, Guest Shaurya took 1 minute 45 seconds, Toastmaster Mayank took 1 minute 8 seconds, and Toastmaster Vishal took 1 minute 21 seconds, Toastmaster Anurag took 1 minute 18 seconds, and Toastmaster Dikshita took 1 minute 50 seconds, Guest Mandeep took 2 minutes 30 seconds, myself took 2 minutes 15 seconds. In Book Master, Toastmaster Ashish took 7 minutes 45 seconds, and in the evaluation section, Toastmaster Shaurya took 2 minutes 45 seconds, and Toastmaster Anurag took 3 minutes 30 seconds. As you can see, there is no disqualification as such, as Mandeep's speech is little bit long, but yeah, it's a unique speech we have today. We generally don't see such long speeches, and I encourage her to visit more this club and give us wisdom to how give us an approach, beautiful approach, how to use safe in feedback. And yeah, with this, thank you for the.
Thank you. Thank you for making this nice Excel file. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Now I'd like to call upon the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Vishal.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mayank. So, starting with the word of the day and phrase of the day. So, the word of the day, cadence, was used by Toastmaster Mayank and Toastmaster Pratik as well. Also, the phrase of the day was only used by one person today, and that was Toastmaster Pratik. So, a huge round of applause for him. I think when you come with a prepared speech where you have a particular content to deliver, incorporating a new word in your speech is extremely difficult. I have never managed to do it so far, and something I'm really working towards. But Pratik, kudos to you for doing that. Now coming to my evaluation report. So first of all, I'll cover some good usage of the words that we heard today, and then I'll talk about not so good usage and how we can improve them. So Toastmaster Pratik, you introduced me to a new word today, semi-corporate culture. I'm not sure if that is a new word or a made up word. I have never heard about it, but yeah, it's such an interesting word. Second, you used democratic leader. I think when you talk about leader, democratic leader is the ideal leader who hears everyone. That's a good usage of the word. You also used a great phrase, rather, not a word, that a journey of becoming a leader starts from day one. A good word. Business is not a fairy tale. Yeah, I mean, I like that word, to be honest. Then Toastmaster Mayank. Toastmaster Mandeep. Yeah, you used the word that we can reap the benefits of safe strategy. Then you used some common words like empathetic tone, avoid public critique, etc. Toastmaster Shaurya, you used a lot of good words today. The one which I really liked was cosmic fluke. So yeah, I love that word. Toastmaster Mayank, you used the word accumulating material wealth. So love that usage as well. Toastmaster Ayushi, the topic that you gave me, character is power. I mean, it's a great word. Unfortunately, when I started talking about power, and when I started talking about character, I forgot about power. So that's why I ended up like wrapping it quickly. But it's a good word. Character is power. It's 3 words, but very powerful word. Then Toastmaster Sharad, even though I was playing the role of timer, so I could not listen it properly. But I think you used something like 0.1 raised to the power 365 makes a huge difference. So a great word. Toastmaster Ashish used a word which is very common in sports parlance, which is like when someone hammers you, means that you are at the receiving end. And then I forgot the name, but someone used the word that I think Shaurya used the word in the evaluation that Pratik used, handle the situation tactfully. I'm not sure if it was Anurag or Shaurya. I think it was Anurag who used it for Mandeep. So Mandeep handled the situation tactfully. That was a good usage. Now coming to not so good usage and how we can improve it. So someone used the word he signaled me. I think it should have been he sent me the signal or he signaled me. Rarely do we see. I think we could have said we rarely see. Someone used the word your hairs. Hair, even it's singular plural, you use only hair. So your hair. Visit to the village. I would say we should use visit the village. Yeah, we generally don't use the preposition with it. Then we talked about that we should be open to new perspective. I think it should be open to hear new perspective, because perspective either you listen or hear. I mean, you cannot see a perspective, so should be used in that way. Someone used the word before 3 years. I think it should be 3 years ago. Someone used the word over the period I have realized. I would say it should be over the time I have realized or over the time period I have realized this. Then someone used the word tomorrow I have to die. I would say willingly you would not like to die. So it should be like tomorrow I die. Then someone used the word have you ever feel. There are 2 ways of saying that. Either it should be have you ever felt or do you ever feel. I mean, depending on what you want to convey. Then someone used the word shoe of a boy. Again, I mean, unless you have a different hobby of wearing only one shoe, you generally wear shoes. So it's a pair of shoes. So it should have been shoes of a boy. And then I think the last word is I want to share a few feedbacks with you. I would say it should have been either I want to share feedback with you, make it generic, or it should have been few feedback points with you. Just to wrap the report for today, Mandeep used a great word critique, and there's a difference between criticize and critique. When we use the word critique, it has a positive connotation. I mean, nowadays, even when you say criticize, people dissect it into a positive criticism or negative criticism. But critique is always a good word to use when you want to express your opinion, but at the same time, like you want to respect the other person. So that's my report for today. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. I think he's the master of this role. He does it so nicely, even when he's not around me. Sometimes if I make grammatical error in my office, I think do it properly, otherwise Nishan will come in this report. Alright, now I'll request our counter of the day, Toastmaster Kramika, to
First of all, thank you so much, all of you, for speeches. Toastmaster Pratik used like 2 times, 2 times. Toastmaster Mandeep Kaur, no filler words. She was very eloquent throughout the speeches. So Toastmaster Pallavi used 5 times, 2 times, so 3 times. Toastmaster Shaurya used 2 times, so 2 times. Toastmaster Mayank no use filler words. He was very eloquent throughout the speech. Toastmaster Vishal used a 5 time and like 2 time. Toastmaster Dixita used so 3 time or 3 time. Toastmaster Mandip, again no filler word. Toastmaster Sarad used a 5 time, so 3 time, like 2 time. Toastmaster Assis used 2 time. Toastmaster Soria in evaluation used a 1 time, so 1 time. And again Toastmaster Anurag used a 1 time, so 2. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Kamika, for your detailed report. I know when you were describing your role, you struggled a bit, which happens with everyone. And this is the, I would say, safest platform I have learned in last 10 months. This is the safest platform where we can learn and grow. So very well done. Thank you for that. Now coming on to the general feedback. Before I share the general feedback, I want to ask something. When life throws situations at you, would life ask you that you want to volunteer, or life puts you on the spot? What do you think? Puts you on the spot, right? It never asks you, do you want to volunteer? So is it okay if I put anyone on the spot to ask something?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to put someone on the spot who has not spoken. As a general evaluator, I have seen in last 2 hours, one person has not spoken at all. So I want to put you on the spot, Toastmaster Harsh, right? Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ayushi shared 3 stories today. What do you think? What was your biggest learning? Any learning which you want to describe, maybe 1 minute.
I think I would say the persistence is the one I related the most with, and so I really value persistence because that is something that keeps us going in the long term, right? And I think it also connects with the third story, which was about like playing the long game. So I think that was where I connected most with. I also the second story, which was about the perspectives, like having different perspectives. I could also relate that with a Mahabharata story where there is a story in which Guru Dronacharya asks Duryodhan and Yudhishthir that go and find a good person and a bad person in the city, and Yudhishthir comes back and says there are no bad person in the city, and Duryodhan comes back and says there is no good person in the city. So that is very similar to like how you perceive the things out there.
Very nice.
That's how I connected with the.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Thank you so much. I'm sorry for putting you on the spot.
Thank you
All
for
right.
the opportunity.
Coming to our Toastmaster of the day. Actually, I wanted to start her feedback. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ayushi. Let me tell you what I learned from the TMOT session today. I learned one thing: structuring the unstructured. And I tell you how. She took up this role 10 minutes before the meeting, which means it was completely unstructured. And do you agree with me when I say she fully structured it? Yes or no?
Yeah. Yes.
So should we give a huge round of applause to her? I heard you speaking for the first time and you did the full justice to this role. I can never imagine that it was not even prepared, right? It was a well prepared role that you had, right? The only feedback for you is when you are having a TMOT session, try to engage audience as well. When you are sharing the story from your perspective, ask the audience that do you have any story which resonates with you or which you want to share, like he shared the story on Guru Dronacharya. He already made my point which I wanted to make you, but otherwise you did full justice, so thank you so much for that. And the table topic master role as well. You were wearing the 2 hats today, and this is the first time I have seen TMOD and TDM are the same. And you did full justice with that as well. All the topics were very nice. So thank you for that. Coming on to the table topic feedback, the first speaker was Pallavi. Pallavi, I'm not sure if you have attended Toastmasters sessions before, because when I came here for the first time and I was asked to speak on table topic, I took a 30-second pause at least. And you were speaking like a pro. So, well done. Second, Shaurya. Shaurya, when you come here, my attention doesn't go anywhere when you are speaking. There are two reasons for that. One, your body language. You stand so firmly. And second, your authoritative voice. You speak with full authority, with full clarity. So I love your table topic discussion. Third was me. I have a lot of areas of improvement. Fourth was Vishal. Topic was very difficult, Vishal. When I was sitting, I was thanking God that this was the topic not for me. You just came after me and you did full justice to this topic. Character is power. I was still thinking what to speak on this topic for 1 minute. I have to Google it. Anurag, for you, Anurag, I always say, once a champion, always a champion. We can never beat him on table topic discussion, so well done. Next was Dikshita. The only feedback for you, Dikshita, is you don't need to repeat the topic which table topic master has already repeated 2 times. You just start with your own story or your own narrative. No need to repeat the topic, right? Then Mandeep, no specific feedback for you. I think it was very well done. Sharad, the only feedback for you is, I know you're a very soft-spoken person. Try to elevate your pitch a little bit. Try to speak more authoritatively, right? Otherwise, it was good. So that was my general feedback. Overall, I think we learned a lot during this meeting, and we are, at least I would say, we are wiser than what we were yesterday. So thank you so much for that. And I now hand it back to the presiding officer of the day, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nayan, for a detailed evaluation session, and everyone, all the evaluators and tag team. There were many actionables, which maybe it was for other speaker, but yeah, there were many detailed points which probably I will take home with me today. The voting links are in your WhatsApp group. Please vote for your favorite role players. And in the meantime, I would request, firstly, Pallavi, would you like to share your feedback, any improvement points that you think we made?
Hello everyone. So nothing to improve, but of course I would like to thank each one of you. I have a takeaway from this meeting, that is that about the constructive feedback, constructive and actionable feedback. So I'm an IT employee, so that's the biggest takeaway from this meeting, because we generally go and get feedback in our day-to-day life. Like we have a quarterly feedback and everything. So next time if I give feedback, I'll make sure it's actionable. So thank you for that. And I really like that second speech, when it was so interactive, and the speaker, I'm sorry, but I didn't get the name. It was amazing in the sense that she was so confident that even if there was like multiple interruptions, she was speaking with confidence and addressing everyone. So that's the second thing which I'll also incorporate in my speeches. Thank you.
Thank you, Pallavi, and we hope to see you in more of our meetings. And yes, today's the entire session, I won't say it was a speech, but those 15 minutes was inspirational. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mandeep, for joining us. And would you like to share your feedback?
Can I share it from here on, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Firstly, thank you everyone for having me. Thank you, Ayushi. It was a great experience to be here today. Even I have learned a lot of things from you guys. I'm a part of online club, so whenever I join some physical meeting, it's a treat for me. So for being here today, of course, I have learned few new things. So the way you delivered the evaluation, and you too. I have a personal interest in evaluation, even if you feel that even my speech was around the evaluation. I really love everything that has been done today. Your general evaluation, how Ayushi handled the Toastmaster of the day, even when she has just 10 minutes to prepare for it. So there were a lot of takeaways. Thank you everyone for having me.
And as soon as when Toastmaster Vishal came and we got to know that Mandeep is here, so we witnessed when we were speaking as an MC at the TLI session, so we knew what was coming, right? So for us it was a delight for sure, and I would say the kind of if I were to be a speaker probably in coming future, I would try to copy not one or two but many things that
It's
we
a
have.
huge compliment. You are really kind.
Thank you so much for taking out time today. Let me see how many. So have you voted? Everyone voted? We have 9 responses. I think we can. So best Oaks role player, it was between Timer, Toastmaster Sharad, R Counter, Toastmaster Kraminka, Grammarian, Toastmaster Vishal, and Bookmaster, Toastmaster Ashish. Any guesses? Without a doubt. Thank you, Toastmaster Vishal. Next was best table topic speakers. I genuinely believe this was a tough one.
Yeah.
So, still 10 guesses.
Sure.
It's a close competition, so I would like to invite both the speakers, which is guest Shorya and Toastmaster Anurag.
Yeah. So Shorya is also an existing Toastmaster and he's officially about to join our club soon. So he's not a guest.
Oh, I thought he's already a Toastmaster. I think he's already a Toastmaster.
He's an existing Toastmaster, yeah. And he's already part of ETC family.
Nice.
Best
prepared speaker, I don't think.
I was over time. I can't be the best speaker. I was over time. I was over time.
We have relaxation for the guests.
No, you don't want to be a kind.
There were like too many questions, it's still trying.
Everyone was spellbound, right?
Love your topic, not Peter Way.
Yeah, exactly.
Best speech evaluator, I would say,
Don't call them again.
So yeah, everyone witnessed it. Both the evaluators were amazing. So I will use the same picture again. Best role player, again, no. It was between Toastmaster of the day, Ayushi, Table Topics Master Ayushi, and General Evaluator Toastmaster Megan. So. And thank you so much for taking Toastmaster of the Day role. I was literally shaking outside when I reached the boat and watched the message from Toastmaster Bhavish. But it was amazing. You managed it beautifully, both the roles. And thank you so much for joining us. With that, let's conclude today's meeting and we give you your Saturday back.
Picture.
Yeah, we can stop the live streaming and then take a selfie. Yeah.